Hi, my name is Kristin Adair. I'm a documentary filmmaker, photographer, multimedia artist based here in Washington, D.C. I'm really excited about this opportunity to share this work at Hillyer. My exhibition is called Unconditional. Unconditional is an exhibition that incorporates still photography, my own and archival materials, and physical weaving, interlacing weaving of photographs, a technique that I really developed as a meditative practice during the pandemic, in fact, as well as a video installation piece that I created that's very deeply personal. I think about it as an intergenerational self-portrait. The video is itself a weaving. It layers video and audio, found footage, archival materials, family photos and video, and new footage that I created using my own body and my own voice, and really exploring my own experience of love and relationships through this lens of my grandparents' relationship, through their letters. And creating this video was a really new creative practice for me in terms of developing some techniques of weaving and layering video that I had not done before, and also as a really self-reflective practice, a bit of a video journal, a video poem, a really personal experience of creating this piece. The pieces behind me are this series of woven photographs that I created. I just had this idea. I've always really been interested in layering and reflections and different ways that images interact with each other. Done double exposure photography in the past, and I had this idea, what if I physically interlaced and interwove images? And I just started doing it and really developed the technique during the pandemic when I had this quiet time and I was really in a reflective, meditative state. So thinking about the way that different layers of ourselves and our experience, our past and present, come together, I put these photographs together, and it's always just a really it's an interesting process because you don't quite know what's going to come out when you start. You take two images and you don't exactly know how they're going to look when you put them together. So this process of weaving images is really interesting to me because you don't know what you're going to get. You start with two images that look really different, and when you put them together, there's different ways that they play off of each other and interact, and I found that to be just a really creative expression of seeing how those images come together and a new image that's created. And so I'm really pleased with how these pieces came out. So the genesis for this work was really this box of letters that I was given, letters that my grandfather, who has passed away a number of years ago, wrote to my grandmother, who has also passed away a number of years ago, during World War II while he was stationed for nearly 3 years in the South Pacific. And these letters just were so intriguing to me. One, because it was a really different experience of my grandparents than I had growing up, and the way that they really expressed their love in this way across distance when, there was no cell phone contact, there was no email between them. These letters going back and forth across the ocean were the only way that they interacted. And they really built their relationship in the letters. And so for me, in a place of self-reflection about my own experience of love and relationships, I took these letters as a bit of a lesson and lineage and also self-exploration. And the letters, which you see here, I printed on fabric to have this feeling of movement and space, and a bit like flags that were moving with the airflow as they moved back and forth between my grandparents when they were sent. And the letters also form the basis for the narrative of the video piece that I created, where I'm reading them and really piecing together different segments of the letters, different words from the letters that were really impactful for me in this self-reflection. I think the takeaway that I would invite people to in this exhibition, as you explore it and as you take it in, is what is your lineage? What are the pieces of love and relationships that you carry inside of yourself? The people that you came from, the relationships that you came from, and how you are representing yourself in the world now. I think we all have both this gift and this responsibility of our lineage to heal what needs to be healed and to share what we are called to share and how we are called to show up in relationship and in the world. And it's really powerful. It was really powerful for me to look at this past, this family story, and think about my own story and how I'm showing up today, and how we represent ourselves today. For me, it was also really a bit of a exploration and critique of self-representation, social media and dating apps, and all the ways that we are now kind of creating our image in the world. And for me, reflecting on that, and that's the reason that I really chose in a vulnerable way to put my body into this work, both in the weavings and in the video, because I was reflecting on representation and how I am representing myself in the world in this digital age, and this lineage that I carry inside of me and how it relates to that.